back. It is the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship presented by Motul. We are going back to back from Wakefield Park Raceway. Hello from Emma Francesco and Steve Martin. And wow, God, it feels good to be here after 40 weekends away from a racetrack, hearing the sound of those motorbikes go around again, seeing everyone. And of course, all of our categories get to wrap up our championship, Steve.
Yeah, they certainly do. I mean, I've got to say, when I arrived here in the pit lane for the first time and saw those bikes heading out on track after such a long time, my heart skipped a beat. I'm so glad to be back. Well,
it's great to see you, Steve, and of course, catching up with everyone up and down the paddock. Thank you to you all for sticking with us through a very testing 2020. Now we're standing right alongside the Penrite Honda Racing Garage because, well, this guy here, he is the Wizard of Wakefield, isn't he? Last time out, it was all about Wayne Maxwell, but right now, all eyes are on Troy Herfoss, the local boy of Goulburn, because he put it on pole position yesterday, only just though after the checkered flag. Can he get it done?
Well, you know what, it was a sensational qualifying session we had here yesterday. I was lucky enough to be over near the podium. Wayne Maxwell had already come in, thought he had pole position. He was sitting there after the checkered flag. Herfoss came through, got that pole position, and I'll tell you what, you could just see Maxwell. It made him even madder and more ready for it. So we're going to have just such an amazing weekend of racing, because it's not only this guy Herfoss, there's Josh Waters on fire, Brian Starring's up there in the championship, and also Glenn Allerton on the BMW. He is back in form too.
Still really so many contenders for that championship and so many other great categories. We've got you covered all weekend. We're going to be live streaming. I'm going to be on TV from 12 o'clock live today as well. So do not miss any of the racing action. As I said, 5 categories, and we're starting now with race 2 for round 2 for YMF R3 Cup. And I welcome these boys. I know how excited they are, raring and ready to go to be back. So good morning to Phil Harlem and Mark Brax.
Thanks very much, Emma. Yes, it is great to be back here at Wakefield Park and getting ready for all of the rest of the action from round 2 of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship presented by Motul. And R3 Cup and Supersport 300 yesterday, Braxy provided some great action. So I think it's fitting that we start off today with the R3 Cup, their second race of round 2.
Well, actually, second race of round 1 for the R3 Cup, because they didn't participate at Phillip Island in the opening round. So this is their very shortened championship with Carter Thompson on pole position, who took out the race win yesterday, with Benny Baker and Archie McDonald, the top 3, with Johnny Littress, Jacob Hatch and Glenn Nelson on round number 2.
Yeah, Tom Drain, Luke Power and I think it was Laura Brown on bike number 355 rounded out the 3rd row of the grid. Round 4, Brendan Demery, Reece Orchard and Angus Grenfell.
Then row 5, Zach Pentley, who had a coming together with Joe Marinello yesterday. And then it's Cameron Dunker and Matty Rendell from Jakes Farnsworth, O'Neill and King rounding out the 6th row. But the racing here was intense yesterday. They'll be heading off on their warm-up lap at the moment. And Carter Thompson, he got the start yesterday in the opening leg of this Yamaha Motor Finance R3 Cup. And his diminutive size has got a little bit of an advantage over the rest of the field. Harry Curry there is, he was in the Supersport 300, pardon me. But even with Ben Baker, the last time I saw him, I was looking down at him. Now he's well over 6 foot. And amazing, like we've been away from a racetrack for 40 weeks, how these youngsters can grow up in such a short space of time.
I think they must have been standing in manure, some of them, for that entire time, because they have grown. You know what's also great is when you look at this field of the Yamaha R3 Cup and you see how many riders have stepped up from last year riding in the Junior Cup. This year they're riding in Supersport 300 and none of them are going slow. They're all going incredibly fast.
And some of them are still racing in the Oceania Junior Cup and doubling up. Well, some of them doing triple duties, not only with this, but also with the Yamaha Motor Insurance Supersport 300 category.
I reckon they'll sleep well on Sunday night.
Well, I think they've been sleeping well all night. And I think, well, if they can get to sleep, because the excitement factor in the paddock, right through, not only through us being back at a racetrack, but everybody associated with it, from the head gangers at MA all the way through to the volunteers, which is International Volunteer Day this weekend, or today. So thanks to all the officials for turning up. They haven't had much trouble getting the officials. Unfortunately, you've got no spectators here this weekend because of the regulations.
They were just keen to get back to a racetrack with everybody else.
But here we go. We're on the starters' hands now for race number 2 of round 1 of the Yamaha R3 Cup for 2020. And on pole position, Carter Thompson, 2 wins yesterday in the Supersport 300 and the R3 Cup. Next to him, Benny Baker on the Bike Biz machine.
Ready to go racing. R3 Cup is go as Carter Thompson gets a great jump off the line. Benny Baker looked like he may have just bogged it down a fraction as well. We'll see where he is as they make their way down towards turn 1. Archie McDonald coming up the inside, can't quite get it up there. And everybody looks like they're making it through turn 1 and 2 safely, and they start the long run up the hill now. But it is Carter Thompson on bike number 50, the GTR Motorstars star of the future, well, star of the present and future.
And the future.
That leads them to the top of the Kawasaki hill.
As they go through turn number 3, over the top with the run down the hill. And already it's a carbon copy of the 2 races yesterday with young Carter Thompson, the teammate of Maxi Stouffer and Archie McDonald as well. They're all in the same team, sharing the garages. Oh, I tell you what, Benny Baker, look at that aggressive style on his little Warwick Nowland Racing Yamaha. They put a new clutch in it this morning.
Well, you can see how tall Benny Baker is, as you were mentioning, Braxy. Pretty much dwarfs that machine now as the field makes their way down the back straight and into the final corner here at Wakefield Park. Laura Brown up the inside. She's a demon on the brakes.
The fastest vet in Australia at the moment, Laura Brown, and she loves mixing with the boys. A bit disappointed with the performance, she was talking to me, but look at this, the lads at the front. Archie McDonald coming through as Johnny Littress as well. He's given his old rival Benny Baker a bit of a hurry up. Johnny Littress was a bit disappointed. Ben Baker having a look behind going, what do you think you're doing, matey? Queenslander versus New South Welshman. But I'll tell you what, this is only playing into the hands of Carter Thompson out the front, because the more these guys have a bit of a mugging session for the battle for 2nd, 3rd and 4th, the more chance that Carter Thompson managed to get away. Bike number 59, Tom Drain, the ex-AMA dirt track champion as well, making a bit of a move, who's relegated Laura Brown and Luke Power behind him.
The field makes their way down towards the bottom of the hill and through that massive big long left-hander that starts to run to the final corner, the Yamaha corner. Oh, who's that running very wide, very, very wide, out onto the grass
Benny Baker.
there. Oh, that's Jacob Hatch. How did he manage to save that? I mean, he had no brakes there, obviously, because of the fact that his brake pads would have been pushed back. That was a huge tag slapper. He's done a great job to try and save that. It's been a drama-filled weekend, unfortunately, for Jake Hatch. His power commander didn't work yesterday. Was dead set last going into the first corner in the race after a pretty handy qualifying session. So he's had a disappointing weekend so far by his lofty expectations.
Well, if he wasn't awake fully by then, I think he is now after that tank slapper into the dirt. But look at this. It's Benny Baker leading, Archie McDonald and Johnny Littress there in 4th. Carter Thompson already clearing out to a lead of about a second and a half, of just over 2.5 laps as they come back down the hill again through the fish-hooked turn that brings them back into the back straight of the second half of this lap.
You can see the 2 different styles there of Benny Baker and also bike number 69, Archie McDonald. Archie McDonald finished 2nd in the race yesterday for a GTR Motorstars 1-2 with his teammate Carter Thompson taking the win. Carter Thompson is so far ahead, he's almost out of the camera shot as Baker maintains 2nd position. Here goes Archie McDonald up the inside, the front end pattering all over the place as he dives up the inside of Benny Baker, and Littress just can't seem to find a way past, sitting there in 4th place at the moment, but he's planning an assault. You can just see it through the dark visor on his helmet, Braxton.
And they shadow each other that much, you can really tell it. Their 3 is breast as Benny Baker tries the outside line. That's a big move through turn 1 and into turn 2 Motul corner as they come up the hill, a little kink through the right-hander before they hit this very fast left that Tim brings them up the Kawasaki turn number 4. Oh, you can see the front. They're working these things, but they're all dirt trackers, so they don't mind the bike moving underneath them.
Well, the other thing is, that's it. A lot of people have been mentioning the bumps around here at Wakefield Park, and you can see how hard the suspension is actually working there to try and keep the bike on track. The fact that these riders are pushing these little motorcycles so hard as well is probably amplifying that, and you can really see it there on the great shots being provided as the field makes its way through Pirelli corner now and down the back straight. It is still Archie McDonald that is in 2nd place, Benny Baker in 3rd, Johnny Littress. Then the next group being led by Luke Power, who's doing a great job here. He's doing double duty, Luke Power, on board bike number 68, but he's got to jump from the Kawasaki Ninja 400 in Supersport 300 onto the R3 for the R3 Cup. 2 completely different motorcycles, and get his head around each time.
Yeah, and he's another one that's growing up to be over 6 foot. Talking to him, get another graduate through the junior ranks. tell you what, this battle at the moment is going to go right to the wire. Laura Brown's getting a bit of a hurry up as well from Luke Power, Tom Drain and Brandon Demery there on bike number 11. He actually ran off yesterday during the first opening leg and came back on in basically last position and got through to about 8th. A very good return recovery from what is the elder statesman of the class at 24 years old.
I was going to say, he and Laura Brown would be the most experienced riders in this field of the R3 Cup.
Now, and Laura Brown on the Bike Biz machine. Mark Condon was in there today. The proprietor of Bike Biz came down overnight with some spares for Tommy Edwards, who's in the 600cc Super Sport category on the Bike Biz Yamaha as well.
And also Top Drain there on board bike number 59, one of the riders that you mentioned before, currently still racing in the OJC, as well as stepping up to Super Sport 300 and R3 Cup. It is still Carter Thompson that leads. He has done also the fastest lap of the race of 105.758. No one else in the fives on that lap. Actually, Benny Baker and Johnny Litchfield have just come across and they've done a 105 on that lap as well. So the pace in that second group is well and truly on.
And Carter Thompson only 0.16 of a second off Maxie Stover's lap record at the moment. Oh, look at the body language of Ben Baker. His size, he's got to really, as you say, Phil, origami himself into the threshold of that bike. And there's not much room for the normal size people, let alone a kid of 16 who's just touching 6 foot tall. Oh, the front end had a bit of a tuck there as he tipped it into turn number 5.
He's got the real MotoGP elbow down style happening, hasn't he, Benny Baker? And you can see Archie McDonald behind, just slightly different style. And Johnny Lucius, you can see the dirt tracker in his style, the way he just throws the motorcycle around.
Well, these three have actually been competing on the dirt. Oh, as Archie McDonald goes up the inside of Benny Baker. Benny Baker almost left the door open, inviting him into that final turn to get into the lead. Well, and look, as you see, you can't even see Carter Thompson into the... Oh, there he is. He's just come back into view.
Archie McDonald was so close to the pit wall there, he nearly got taken out by someone's pit board. But it was interesting watching the debrief and listening to what they were saying yesterday, the debrief with Archie McDonald and the doyen of setting up those motorcycles, Heath Griffin and also Jamie Stouffer, a man who needs no introduction to Australian race fans. And Jamie, the questions he was asking, how technically he was getting information out of the young riders and really making them think about how the bike was handling at different parts of the circuit. They were working hard on the setup of that R3 overnight, and it looks to me like the bike is handling pretty well, given the amount of bumps that we see around the Wakefield Park circuit here. And he's involved in the middle of this battle at the moment. Benny Baker leads from Archie McDonald and Johnny Litchfield. They are having a 3-man war. They've got a huge gap over the next group, which is currently being led by Luke Power. And Carter Thompson, well, he is 2.5 seconds in the lead.
Archie McDonald round the outside of Ben Baker there. I think Benny Baker might have missed a gear on the exit because he made it look like he was standing still. And when you're talking about the debrief, hats off to Johnny Litchfield too. He started a motorcycle apprenticeship this year, just turned 16, left school, and he's been using that to actually work on the bike with his old man Aaron. Oh, McDonald just holds off Ben Baker now. 7 laps on the last lap as Carter Thompson now a 106 flat for that last lap for him. His lead now 2.6 seconds over this trio that is fighting for this the minors in 2nd, 3rd and 4th. Can Johnny Litchfield go one better and move up into 3rd position with about 1.5 kilometres to go of this second leg of the opening round for the YMF R3 Cup.
Lucky these riders aren't riding in MotoGP, Braxy. They'd be getting long lap penalties every single lap for exceeding track limits up the top of the circuit there. Carter Thompson has got this one in the bag. All he's going to do is make it round one more corner and he will take his 2nd win in the R3 Cup. And it looks very much like it's going to be a GTR Motorstars 1-2 with his teammate Archie McDonald with a pretty good lead now. I don't think Benny Baker and Johnny Litchfield are close enough. No, they're not. Litchfield is up into 3rd place on the final corner. Can Baker come back on the run now down to the start-finish line? I don't think so. I think it might be Litchfield that will get 2nd. No, it is Archie McDonald and Benny Baker's just going to get there. Ben Baker takes 3rd place in a drag finish to the line. What a great battle between those three.
The same result as yesterday. 1, 2 and 3. And get down there and have a words of wisdom of our youngsters.
2.6 seconds the winning margin for Carter Thompson in his 2nd win for the weekend in the Yamaha R3 Cup. Archie McDonald, his second place finish, and Ben Baker, his 2nd, 3rd place finish. Congratulations to our top 4. A very entertaining battle. Laura Brown got the best of the Luke Power, Tom Drain, Brandon Demery group to take 5th position from Luke Power in 6th, Tom Drain in 7th and Demery in 8th. Reach Orchard finished in 9th and Maddie Rindell rounded out the top 10. Congratulations to Carter Thompson, second race win, fastest lap of the race, a 1:05.665 that he set very early on in the race on board bike number 50, and he will be a very happy chappy as he makes his way back into Park for May to have a word with Mark Brax in just one moment. There it is, the GTR Motorstars machine of Carter Thompson that took the race win. He said by 2.656 seconds over his teammate Archie McDonald and Ben Baker on board bike number 72, the Warwick Nowland Racing Yamaha R3. Littress in 4th place, Laura Brown in 5th, Luke Power in 6th, Tom Drain in 7th, Demery, Orchard and Rindell round out the top 10 with Glenn Nelson and Angus Grenfell, 2 of our young stages in 11th and 12th position. A great result for all of the young riders. Cameron Dunker in 13th place, Jace Farnsworth in 14th, Zach Pettendy in 15th place, Nate O'Neill on board bike number 65 in 16th place, Lincoln Knight and Jacob Hatch, unfortunately we saw have that massive tank slapper and pulled into the pits after only 2 completed laps.
Good job, boys.
We'll hear from our top 3 in just a moment, but first that, a quick break and then back to Wakefield Park for continuing action from the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship presented by Motul.
At My Bike Insurance, we are motorcycle specialists. It's all in the name. We understand how important your motorcycle is to you. And because of this, we strive to provide peace of mind cover for you and your motorcycle, no matter where your bike takes you. Visit the My Bike website for a quick and easy quote, or call the My Bike Insurance team on 1300 780 446 today.
Wouldn't it be perfect if every ride was like this? But it's not. When the unexpected does happen, we come off second best. So to brush up on your skills, cruise into Spokes.
When you ride the most advanced Kawasaki Ninja ZX-10R and you have proven yourself over and over, there's only one rider left to face. Face yourself.
Don't miss a second of the action.
Welcome back to Wakefield Park. It's about time we heard from our top 3 in the first Yamaha R3 Cup from the weekend. There with Mark Brax.
Well, Ben Baker, third position, you said the motor hard, you saw on the last lap.
Me and Archie had a good battle. Everything else they do. UTech for sponsoring the round, Shoei helmets, and just everyone else, thanks.
Well, you got one more chance to get up there. All the best for that later on this afternoon, Ben.
Yeah, thanks. Hopefully we can get a second or a first this time.
No worries, mate. Done well done. It was a hard battle. In second position, Archie McDonald, same as yesterday, behind your teammate. What answer you got for your teammate? And the battle you had with Benny Baker and John Littress, outstanding.
Yeah, it was a good battle. They both fought hard, but they just couldn't quite get there on the last lap. Carter's doing well. He's just so damn light, but, you know, it is what it is, and you just got to take it home with the second.
We'll get a better start, hopefully, and you can put him behind you. All the best for the next one, Archie.
Hopefully take a dump and lose a couple of kilos. I'll be right.
Let's put in it mildly. And our winner, 2 from 2 in the Yamaha Motor Finance R3 Cup. Well done there, Carter. Another very demanding and comprehensive win.
Yeah, thank you. It wasn't easy. I got a good start and tried to pull away a bit and then try and keep the gap consistent. And
we'll just keep on doing what you're doing, and all the best for the next one.
Yeah, thank you.
No worries, Carter Thompson. Our top 3, Carter Thompson, Archie McDonald and Benny Baker. Back to you, Phil.
Yeah, thanks very much, Braxy. The Oceania Junior Cup, the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup, out on track now for their first race of the day, their second in the weekend. Marianus Nicholas will start from pole position with Tom Drain in second place and also Hayden Nelson on the front row of the grid as well. Tom Drain, first 2 races of the day, and he's been in both of them. Got to get off the R3 now and back onto the R15. Cameron Dunker, Cameron Swain and Nate O'Neill. Great performance from the young rider on board bike number 65, Nate O'Neill, in the second row of the grid. Row 4 is Levi Russo, Boris Fleming and Henry Snell. Row 5, Clay Clegg, Brodie Gorwith and Jamie Port. I'm not sure if Jamie Port's actually out there because he wasn't feeling the best yesterday. Lucas Quinn, Toby James and Lincoln Knight on row 6, and the field rounded out by positions 19 and 20, James Weaver and Casey Middleton.
And they're straight into it, guys. No warm-up lap on this one. So we'll see what the boys can do. Marianus Nicholas, the winner from yesterday's heat. Another good start on bike number 46.
Yep, he's got 25 points to his name so far already after a great result yesterday as they make their way down in towards turn 1 for the first time. It is Marianus that leads from Tom Drain as they make their way up the hill now. Bike number 29, Hayden Nelson sitting there in 3rd place and Cameron Swain on board bike number 26 in 4th place. But this is OJC, Braxy. Those positions will only stay that way for maximum 1 corner at a time.
They do that. They actually spread out a little bit yesterday. It was very unusual for the Oceania Junior Cup, the way it worked out. Marianus Nicholas, he cleared out at about a second and a half a lap over his adversaries, but I don't know if he's going to get the same this morning as Tom Drain is right on the exhaust pipe of the little R15 of Nicholas there in the lead. And since Eastern Creek last year, Phil, Marianus has gone up another level, hasn't he, when he broke through for that round win at the final round last year.
Well, speaking about all of the riders that have been getting so much taller, Marianus is one of the only ones that doesn't seem to have grown over the period since we saw them last. But he was on fire at the end of last year. He was the most consistent rider in the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup, and he's been incredibly well positioned in all of the races this year. I think it was a little bit of bad luck at the first round at Phillip Island that thwarted his attempts, and as they come across the line, it looked like Tom Drain had just managed to sneak his way past, but also coming up very quickly and has appeared from the second group to join the lead group is now Cameron Dunker on board bike number 50.
Well, Cameron Dunker came into this round just in 3rd position in the championship after Phillip Island. 1 point adrift of Marianus Nicholas. Lucas Quinn down there in 16th position, our championship leader. Very unusual for him because at Phillip Island he got the 3 wins and that's a perfect score.
Well, and also, too, we were laughing about, he had 3 wins. You look at it on paper, you think he dominated. He won one race by .003, the other one by .007, and the other one was .146. So it was a combined winning margin of less than 0.2 of a second across the 3 races.
Now looking back at Cameron Swain there in 4th position from Hayden Nelson, and then Jay Russo, Nate O'Neill, Angus Grenfell and Glenn Nelson. No relation to Hayden Nelson. Hayden from New South Wales, Glenn from Queensland. Oh, inside bike number 65, Nate O'Neill having a big lunge to see what happened as they come down Yamaha turns and into the final corner onto the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance straight here at Wakefield Park. But it's Marianus Nicholas still got the lead from Tom Drain and Cameron Dunker, 1st, 2nd and 3rd. Now they've got a lead now of about approximately a second over the rest of the bunch. But if they keep swapping paint like they're doing at the moment, the rest of them, now that Hayden Nelson's Cameron Swain and Hayden Nelson got a bit of clear track in front of them, looking at the lap times, of 1 minute 15 for a standing lap off for Marianus Nicholas. But look at this bunch for 2nd, 3rd, 4th, 5th, 6th, 7th, 8th, 9th and 10th.
So there's probably plenty of people that come here to Wakefield Park ride days that'd be happy with a 1:15 on a flying lap on their road bike, let alone an R15. But also, I was just about to say, so impressed with young Nate O'Neill on board bike number 65. Relatively inexperienced in road racing, doing duty in both the R3 Cup, I think Supersport 300, as well as the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup, and doing a great job at the moment in that second pack. As we look back here to see bike number 26, Cameron Swain, under an immense amount of pressure. Look at the group behind him. Is that bike number 39, Glenn Nelson, telling them to all get behind him. I love it when they do that, Braxy, and they take absolutely no notice whatsoever. Because a couple of them going very wide round the final corner. The Yamaha revs your heart corner. I reckon his heart was revving pretty hard there as he nearly ran off into the grass.
And for people who mightn't see this, everybody is on the identical machines. They're all looked after by Trevor Manley and his crew from representative from Motorcycling Australia and Yamaha. They put them in the truck. They get the bikes that on the practice days and all looked after. So the helmets, the gloves, the Condi leathers, everything there supplied to the riders for, well, in a good year it was $7,000 for the year with a 6-round championship. This year it's been a bit, well, as we know, been a bit interrupted, but a great learning curve to get your youngster involved in road racing and a pretty reasonable expense too.
Down the hill now, bike number 50, Cameron Dunker, trying to find a way past Tom Drain, just can't do it. Tom Drain, the dirt tracker, a young rider who's had international experience at his age, doing a great job here in his second year in the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup. Finished third in the championship last year, Braxy, and certainly hopeful of scoring some good points here and trying to take the championship in 2020. And he comes up the inside now, Tom Drain on the brakes, out brakes Marianus Nicholas into the final corner. He runs wide. Marianus was able to turn it very tight and go back into the lead. And
did he use brakes then or not?
I don't think so. Cameron Dunker is also trying to use the slipstream of Marianus as they come down now. Tom Drain's gone back from 1st to 3rd in the space of half of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance start-finish straight. It's not the longest straight here either.
Through turn 1 into Motul, turn number 2, Phil. That is just not for the faint-hearted. These guys are used to racing this close on the dirt, but on a dirt track, it's 4 laps all over in a minute. So here it's a bit different. A lap now, a 1 minute 15, 1 minute 14. I think that's a new lap record for the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup with Cameron Dunker.
Yeah, I don't think they get into the 14s yesterday, Braxton, because the rest of the field still back in the 15s. A 15 flat for Tom Drain, a 15.3 for Marianus. And if they stay in this order, the provisional championship points will have Marianus Nicholas with an 11-point lead over Lucas Quinn, the 3-time victor at round 1 in the championship. Cameron Dunker, who's in the middle of this battle on board bike number 50, could also challenge Lucas Quinn for second position in the championship.
Cameron Dunker hasn't just broken it, he smashed it by over a second. And around a track like this on these little R15, that is a remarkable effort to take the lap record off Marianus Nicholas. And this championship, man, we've got another race today and a couple more tomorrow to finish this 2020 season. The last lap, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. Here we go. It's just starting to warm up.
2.2 kilometres of absolute mayhem to go to decide who will not only win this race, but I guess they lead the championship. Cameron Dunker did a great job there to keep the bike on track after a bit of a slight touch with Marianus. Marianus's corner entry speed in turn 2 is absolutely sensational. But this is the OJC Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup, Braxy. Look at this group of riders.
This is a battle for 4th.
It's like we're at a Greek wedding with the conga line making its way up the hill now. It is bike number 26, Cameron Swain, that leads them.
65, Clegg, but no, it was Nate O'Neill you were talking about before. That was bouncing more than a trampoline going through turn number 3.
Yeah, very impressed with that young man and the way that he's riding in the middle of that group at the moment. Marianus Nicholas still leads the group now as they're battling for the overall win. But this group, which is battling for 4th place at the moment, still being led by Cameron Swain. There's our lead riders. They're on the final straight now. They're coming down to the final corner. It is Marianus Nicholas that leads. Tom Drain up the inside of Cameron Dunker. Can Cameron Dunker turn it back and get the run out of the final corner? I think Marianus has got this one in the bag, Braxy, but the real battle is 2nd place now between Cameron Dunker and Tom Drain. Drain leads, Dunker in the slipstream. I don't think he's going to get there in time. Marianus takes the win. Cameron Dunker in 2nd. Cameron Dunker back to 3rd and Tom Drain in 2nd.
Look at this, as you said, the conga line, they're pushing each other left, right and centre, but they're going to get the claim for 4th position this time. Cameron Swain. He was third yesterday. Now he's been relegated. So Cameron Swain and Dunker.
And Marianus Nicholas breaks the lap record again on the last lap with a 1:14.906.
Wow, and that's just, what, 4 thousandths of a second quicker than Cameron Dunker's time. Amazing.
That was on the last lap. So we were waxing lyrical about the amazing time from Cameron Dunker, and Marianus has gone, yep, whatever you can do, I can do one better. In fact, he went, what was it, 4 1,000ths of a second better.
Even better, mate. What a race that was.
So congratulations to Marianus Nicholas, Tom Drain and Cameron Dunker. The top three, they'll be talking to Mark Brax in just a moment. The rest of the field, that group that came through from 4th to 10th place, and actually 4th to 11th place, was covered by 0.9 of a second. They're only small bikes, but I didn't think you could fit that many of them into 9/10ths of a second. Marianus takes the win by 0.580 of a second over Tom Drain and Cameron Dunker. Not much between those two as they came across the line. Cameron Swain in 4th, Jai Russo in 5th, Clay Clegg in 6th, Henry Snell in 7th place, Nate O'Neill, the man that we spoke about, in 8th position, Glenn Nelson, a great ride to 9th position on board bike number 39, and Varis Fleming on board bike number 55 rounds out the top 10. Next rider through, and the last rider in that very tightly packed group was Hayden Nelson on board bike number 29 in 11th place. Then it was Angus Grenfell on board bike number 36, his second year in this championship as well. Levo Russo in 13th place, Lincoln Knight in 14th place. All the way back to our previous championship leader, Lucas Quinn, on board bike number 58 in 15th position. But Marianus Nicholas now leads the championship on 99 points. I think you'll find that Lucas Quinn is now under attack in 2nd position in the championship. He's got 89 points, but Tom Drain has got 86 points, and right behind him, you can see there Cameron Dunker. That good result has moved him up into championship contention as well in 4th place, and it's Cameron Swain in 5th position. Only 19 points covers the top 5 in the Blue Crew Oceania Junior Cup at this second round of the My Bike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship presented by Motul. We'll have a short break, come back on the other side of this, we'll hear from our top 3.
AMMF can help power your passion. We offer flexible, tailored finance solutions to motorcycle and marine customers Australia-wide. Our motorcycle and marine specialists can help you finance your motorcycle, scooter, personal watercraft or boat package with quick and easy approvals, fixed rate terms, flexible finance options and competitive rates. Call AMMF on 1300 263 123 or visit the website today.
We are the innovators, the specialists, the ones who power the wheels of progress. Extraordinary innovation for on-road and off-road terrain. Estacore technology for improved engine protection and performance. We are going a step beyond to a new generation of motor oils. This is the vision of innovation. The new 300V Square.
Time for hear from our top 3, Marianus Nicholas and Tom Drain and Cameron Dunker. There with Mark Brax.
Well, Cameron, well done, mate. 3rd position in the second leg of the Oceania Junior Cup. Happy birthday. 4th yesterday, 3rd today. You're on the way up.
Yeah, it was a pretty good result. Just that one mistake in the second last corner, but, you know, still happy with 3rd.
All the best, mate, and come back stronger this afternoon. You got a lap record earlier on. Hopefully you can break it later.
Yep, thank you.
All right, Cameron Dunker, well done. And in 2nd position, where is he? Tom Drain again. You tried hard, mate. You thought you might have had Marianus then, but not quite.
No, I made a mistake into the fish hook on the last lap there, and then him and Cam were pulled away, so I had to try just make a move on Cam, and he was too far in front.
And you're learning every time, so I'm sure you got something up your sleeve for this afternoon.
Yeah, I have a few moves. That's about it.
Well done there, Tom Drain. All the best, and hopefully see you back here later on this afternoon for our winner. 2 from 2 and a new lap record by 6 thousandths of a second. You beat from Cameron, but you've regained a lap record, Marianus. Well done. Great racing.
Yeah, thanks, Faxi. That was a really hard race. They were with me the whole time, front wheels. One point I went into second. I just tried to stay at the front the whole time. On the last lap, it was definitely Robin's Racing. Someone's front tyre was on my boot. I knew I had to pull my head down. I went around the turn 5 and my leg fell off. I was just trying to go so fast. And yeah, it was a tough one. I'd just like to thank all the Oceania Junior Cup sponsors, Pirelli, Racondi, Blue Crew and Yamaha Australia. And I'd also like to thank Martin Port for making sure this round was on. And I'd just like to thank my mechanic.
Mate, well done. You're well spoken, mate. You're leading the championship now in the Blue Crew Oceania Cup. All the best for the rest of the day and the round tomorrow.
Yeah, thanks, Braxy.
No worries. Back to you guys.
Yeah, thanks very much, Braxy. Congratulations to Marianos taking the championship lead and also the new lap record holder as well. He momentarily lost it, but he got it back on the last lap of the race. We'll have a short break. Plenty more action coming up here from Wakefield Park. Stay tuned.
At My Bike Insurance, we are motorcycle specialists. It's all in the name. We understand how important your motorcycle is to you, and because of this, we strive to provide peace of mind cover for you and your motorcycle, no matter where your bike takes you. Visit the My Bike website for a quick and easy quote, or call the My Bike Insurance team on 1300 780 446 today.
like this. But it's not. When the unexpected does happen, we come off second best. So to brush up on your skills, cruise into Spokes.
When you ride the most advanced Kawasaki Ninja ZX-10R and you have proven yourself over and over, there's only one rider left to face. Face yourself.
Don't miss a second of the action. Every corner, every shift, every heartbreak. See your motorsport as it should be, live and free. Download your Motorsport TV experience now.
After 12 months off due to COVID-19 disrupting the last season, the championship will roar back into life with 12 rounds, 6 venues and 4 states, the calendar will be jam-packed with action. Rounds 1 and 2, Nowra, New South Wales, will open the series back in style on the 27th and the 28th of March. 3 weeks later, Victoria will host rounds 3 and 4 on the 17th and the 18th of April. We will then head north up to Kyogle, New South Wales for rounds 5 and 6 on the 17th and the 18th of July. The championship will continue on the up, going to Queensland for rounds 7 and 8 on the 6th and the 7th of August. The penultimate rounds, 9 and 10, will be in Kingston, South Australia on the 18th and the 19th of September, before we finish down in Victoria for the final 2 rounds, 11 and 12, in Omeo, Victoria on the 16th and the 17th of October. Be sure to head to aorc.org.au or follow us on Facebook and Instagram for all the details. We're ready. Are you?
Welcome back to Wakefield Park and the MyBike Motorcycle Insurance Australian Superbike Championship presented by Motul. We are getting ready for Motorsports TV Supersport, and this championship battle is by no means done and dusted, Steve Martin. Ollie Bayliss has a very slender 5-point lead over the local hero, Tom Taparis. He might not have his adoring fans here at Wakefield Park this weekend, but I tell you what, they're all sitting at home watching the live stream, cheering him on. Nick Leamington, 3rd place in the championship, unfortunately not here this weekend.
Yeah, it's unfortunate that Nick didn't make the trip from South Australia to enter this event, sitting 3rd in the championship. Be very difficult for him to be sitting at home, but good to see Tommy Edwards here and Maxi Stauffer as well, both having great runs on their 600s in this championship, and both of them are in with a shot with this thing.
Well, and Max Stauffer was so fast on Thursday at the first practice session, has had limited time on the bike this year. But, you know, the interesting thing is, it's only 4 years since Max Stauffer made his road racing debut at this very circuit. Who would have thought 4 short years later, and he is challenging for the Motorsports TV Supersport Championship? Look, he's come a long way, hasn't he? He started off on the on a single cylinder, then moved up to the two cylinders in the R3 Cup and the Supersport 300 race, and now he's moved on to the 4-cylinder machine, so a great variation of learning as well. And I did speak to him about the difference between the bikes, and he said that you just cannot compare the 600 to the 300s. It's another world. Time to hear from our riders. They're on the grid with Emma Francesco.
Tom Taparis, well, you're pretty used to being in this position, and the great news is it's at your home track this time.
Yeah, thank you, Emma. Obviously, so good to be back in Australia after being overseas for most of the year. It was a difficult year overseas. I broke my wrist and I injured my shoulder quite badly, so it's just like, you know, over the moon to be back here, relaxed this weekend, and you know, 15 minutes away from home. So my family's here, and yeah, just the weekend's gone quite well so far. So see if we can keep it up, and hopefully at the end of the weekend we have a smile on our face.
Plenty of competition around you as well. Brock's looking very quick, and then of course you got your best mate not too far behind you in Ollie Bayliss as well. Yeah, for sure. I think for me, my biggest competition's Ollie. You know, we had dinner last night and we were having a bit of fun. So, you know, at the end of the day, it's racing. So if I win, I'll be happy. But if not, I'd be stoked to see him win the championship. So either way, it's going to be a great weekend. Best of luck. Go get him. Cheers.
They are good mates, and it's interesting the fact that they're so close in the championship as well. They used to ride for the same team, but it was you could see yesterday that they're both so desperate to get one up over the other. Yeah, absolutely. Keep an eye on Brock Pearson. We haven't mentioned him much either, but if you think back to the history of his career, he's had a lot of injuries over the last 2 or 3 years that this time off the bike has allowed him to recover from that, and he's riding a lot stronger. He's always told us how fast he is, and we've seen the odd fast lap here and there, but now he's on a mission. Let's go back down to Em.
Yeah, just here with Max Stauffer. And Max, I know you're disappointed with starting in 4th. Let's not forget, though, you only just recently stepped up to Supersport, so we think you're doing a great job.
Yeah, thanks, Emma. This is my second meeting in ASBK on the 600, so I can't be too down on myself and keen to have a good race today.
How are you feeling coming to this weekend? Anyway, everyone's so excited. There's a great vibe and a great buzz in the air getting back on track.
Yeah, no, I was so happy that ASBK could recommence. Couldn't be any happier, to be honest. Like, I'm back at a racetrack doing what I love.
Good luck. Go get him.
Thank you.
Yeah, Max Stover sitting there second on the grid, but you know why he's disappointed with second row of the grid, Steve Martin? Because on Friday he was one of the fastest riders on track, led a couple of the sessions as well. And as his mum said when I was talking to her yesterday, if he hadn't have started off so good, they wouldn't be disappointed with the second row, but they had very lofty expectations. Well, no one remembers where people qualified at the end of the weekend. Max can rectify all of that in this race. Also, Brock Pearson's birthday today, so happy 20th birthday to Brock Pearson, and he's hoping to take the win to celebrate in style.
Yeah, well, starting on the front row of the grid there in second position, that's a pretty good spot for him to be. Let's get back down to M.
Ollie Bailiffs, it's always great hearing that the night before a race, you and your best mate, your biggest rival, are hanging out, having fun. But, you know, once the helmet's on, that's it. It's game on.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's good going up against Tom for the last round of the Australian Championship. So we'll see what we can do and how we end up.
Best of luck.
Cheers, Emma.
Ollie's pumped up. He looks like he's got a smile and everything there, but there is some serious work going on there to really focus on what he's got to do. He's been fast all weekend, but the thing was, Steve, mate, you could see that he didn't just try and go out straight away on Thursday and go straight to the top of the timesheets. He worked himself into it. He's been doing laps on the R6 at Morgan Park Raceway, but he's also been riding the Superbike as well. So he had to get his head back around it. I think the way he's approached this weekend has been extremely smart.
That's Patrick Lee heading over the barrier there for some reason. Let's hope that he hasn't got a problem that's going to see him out of this race. Unfortunately, he's got his gloves off, so I definitely think there's something that he's not happy with there. But I'll tell you what, Taparis and Bayliss, they also need to watch out for the other guys. We heard a lot of them talking about each other, but there are many, many guys in this race that can take it to those guys if they're not careful. So they're going to have to keep their eyes open. I don't think those two guys are going to have it their own way.
Back down to the grid with them.
Aidan Hayes, man, from Sydney. So really, this is your local track. You done plenty of laps around here, I'm sure, and this would be one of your favourites.
Yeah, I do enjoy this track. I mean, it's definitely not my strongest track, but I definitely enjoy riding it. And it's the closest one we've got to home this year, so it's the home track.
Good news, the sun is shining now, but maybe a bit of rain later. Enjoy.
Yeah, looking forward to it. It always brings the change, and hopefully we go girl.
Go get him.
Aidan's actually been working flat out, hasn't had any time off at work. He said that he had to just do everything he could to try and get the time off to race in this meeting. So he hasn't had a lot of bike time at all. But he was riding. He's another one that's come on really well in the last year or so, adapting to the 600, making his way up through the classes. And, you know, if it all clicks together for him, he could be up there too.
Well, and Aidan Hayes is fitter than I have ever seen him in all of the time that he's been riding. During the off-season break, he was training extremely hard. He's going to a new CrossFit gym now, and he's been training 5 o'clock in the morning before he goes to work for the full day. Was even doing some stretching yesterday before he went out on track, and he's looking incredibly fit. 14 hard laps around here on a Supersport bike. That fitness is going to really come into fruition towards the back end of the race.
Yeah, well, it is a tight, twisty, bumpy track. So it's a completely different circuit to what we're used to seeing. Phillip Island was, you know, where we had round one was just such a, you know, a Grand Prix type circuit. But this is the epitome of the opposite. It is one of the Australian circuits that always creates fantastic racing.
Yeah, it looks like we are missing Patrick Lee from the back of the grid there, so I'm not sure what's happened to Patrick. As we get ready to go on our warm-up lap. Riders heading off now for Motorsports TV Supersport. And it is Tom Taparis on bike number 1 that will start from pole position. We've heard from him. He is the local hero. He's done a lot of laps around here at Wakefield Park. But I think you made a very good point, Steve Martin, that Tom Taparis and Ollie Bayliss can't just worry about what each other's doing. Rider on bike number 127, Max Stover, and also Brock Pearson on board bike number 17. They desperately want to take a win in this class. And Max Stover in his second ever meeting on a Supersport machine.
Tom Taparis starts from pole position. Brock Pearson brilliantly in second with Ollie Bayliss on the front row.
Maxi Stover heads up the second row of the grid on board bike number 127 with Tom Edwards, fresh from the season, competing in the Supersport 300 World Championship on the second row, along with Aidan Hayes on board bike number 46.
Jack Hyde, good ride from him in 7th. Joel Taylor and Jack Passfield in 9th position rounds out row 3.
Yeah, Jack Passfield's had a difficult weekend. but I expect that he will be on the pace in this race. Scotty Nicholson on board bike number 39 in 10th place. Noel Mahon on board the Sol Kawasaki. And unfortunately, Patrick Lee not out there on the grid on board the MotoGo Yamaha bike number 24.
Nice ASBK branded flags, Phil. Good to see.
Yep, Sammy on the front row of the grid here. With, you know it's an ASBK grid when you see start line.